And as we've been reporting, the shutdown is causing some major delays and staffing shortages at the nation's airports. Not only are air traffic controllers and TSA officers feeling the effects, so are flight attendants. For more on this, let's bring in Sara Nelson. She is the president of the Association of Flight Attendants, which represents about 55,000 workers at 20 U.S. airlines. Sara, thank you very much for joining us here. So flight attendants, they are not federal employees, but how does a government shutdown like this one affect their ability to do their jobs? And what kind of concerns are you hearing from flight attendants in your union?
Well, flight attendants are on the front lines, and we are the last check on aviation safety. So when we board that plane, do our safety checks and welcome people on the plane, there have been hundreds of thousands of workers who, before that point, have been asking, is it safe? And we do that last check along with the pilots, and then we fly with you. And what I will tell you is that aviation is less safe during any government shutdown, and every day that it goes on, it becomes less and less safe. Now, what we are going to make sure of, all aviation workers, is that aviation stays safe. So what this means is there will be a slowdown, there will be inefficiencies as we are slowing the system down to make sure it stays safe. But air traffic controllers in a highly stressful job who have to retire at age 56 and who today are making our nation airspace work on 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, are federal workers that we count on who do not have the support of the National Weather Service because they are on furlough. They don't have the support of NOAA. They don't have the support of other people who help them do their jobs. The transportation security officers do not have the cybersecurity support. Those people are on furlough. They do not have the intelligence that they need in order to mitigate any risk at our security checkpoints. So things are going to get slowed down. Well, and those federal workers who are coming to work without a paycheck, that becomes increasingly unsafe. We know in safety-sensitive jobs, the first job is to remove all distractions. And what could be more distracting than not getting a paycheck and being able to take care of your family?
Well, Sara, the union representing air traffic controllers in the U.S., it's told its members to keep working through this shutdown despite not being paid. And it comes as you've seen it yourself. These sick calls are going up. As a union leader, what is your take?
I take offense at the idea that they're calling in sick. They are stressed to the limit. They are trying to provide for their families, in some cases trying to work in the off hours when they're supposed to be sleeping. Every single day when they come to work, they have to sign that they are fit for duty. If they cannot safely do their jobs, they should not, because that puts all of us at risk. So they are not calling in sick. They are being put in the position, in a stressful position, to be unable to do their jobs safely. And that's what we need the American public to know, is that this is a stress and strain on our safety and security. There are two crises here. One that's been created by elected officials who do not take their oath of office as seriously as the air traffic controllers and other federal workers who come to work every day to keep the rest of us safe. They need to emulate that, not exploit that as the elected leaders, and come to a solution to correct the two crises in front of us, the shutdown and the likelihood that all Americans are going to lose affordability on our health care. So these are two crises that need to be addressed right now to open up the government, and they can do that today with one vote.
All right, Sara Nelson, thank you very much.
Thank you.